Just hit the go live button, Carl. There's nothing to fear but fear itself and the stupidity of the world. Oh man. Attention getters. I don't get it. Let's start this off with a musical interlude. Hey, what's going on, Vintage? Listen, I don't know. The world keeps getting sicker and sicker to me, and I don't understand it. Like, I'll show you. Oh, it's not that one. We're gonna get to Gail. I got some weird comments in my YouTube. I don't know if you know who that is or not, but that's Shania Twain. That's a whole lot of I don't understand what's going on there. Running around, an old woman in her underwear. I mean, I know she looks good and stuff. She's got to know she looks good, but I don't know. She wants attention for some reason. You know what I mean? Is it a force thing? Hey, you gotta look this way. You signed a deal with Shania, but who knows? You know what I mean? I'm just saying, I ain't buying what she's selling. You know what I mean? To each their own, though. To each their own. It reminds me, vintage. There's this commercial. I see it all the time on TikTok. So it's probably on TV. It's what our CBC put together. Well, that's the news station that's publicly funded. You know what I mean? Taxpayer. They have a neat little commercial. It has Shania Twain in it. It has Eugene Levy. It has Martin Short. It has Sandra Oh. It has, well, Shania Twain and a couple others. You know what I mean? Some big Canadian names. And they're doing a commercial for the food bank. And I don't know. I couldn't help but think like there probably are some people who just do things out of the kindness of their heart and they do things for free so that they can spread a word. But I love to know how much was paid on that commercial. You know what I mean? Publicly funded when that money could have went to food banks. You know what I mean? They just could have got some average people to come on and say, "Hey, everybody, kept her cheap, kept her sweet." You know what I mean? Got some people fed. Instead, these are tax dollars to spread the word that the people need to help out. You know, oh, it's all fucking sorts of moronic because I think those people got paid help, probably pretty good. You know what I mean? That's what I'm thinking. But who knows? Maybe they did it out of the kindness of their heart. But anyways, vintage. I'm gonna get into this. I know no one will watch it, but let me pull this up. Because you've been around for a while, vintage. You can let me know where I might be wrong. My memory fails me sometimes, but I'm not. I'm starting to think Gail's very, very delusional. It's Gail Bland, and it says, Carl, come on now. You don't start talking shit on my family. I've been decent to you. Not cool. Gail actually thinks she's been decent to me. I I need to really talk to Gail because, well, from my perspective, this is how it went down with Gail. vintage. Gail came into my peripheral when I was trying to get answers about Ryan, and I was battling with Ryan's dad. You know what I mean? Ryan's dad was very fake, and I wanted battle didn't last long. Ronnie went running, for a tough guy like him. It was kind of weird, but he showed me all sorts of narcissism, and I can tell you why. You know what I mean? Like little things like where he's trying to tell his son how proud of he was at his concert, but instead he made it about him being the star of the show and how his people loved him and not smart enough to figure out they don't give a fuck about you, bud. It's the fact that you're Upchurch's dad. You know what I mean? It's it's not your first time meeting with them and all of a sudden they're just in love with you because you're fantastic. But then again, there was the rumors that Ryan was spreading around that, well, his dad used to tell him he'd never amount to anything. There's really dads out there like that. I can attest. You know what I mean? And then there was the whole Bobcat thing, and instead of saying, "Hey, son, just come get it," if you paid for it, I mean, hey, if you gave it to me and you really wanna but that was all sorts of weird. But anyways, yeah, so I started talking to Gail in the comments a bit, and she would tell me I'm not crazy. Like, it's in the comments, I think. "No, you're not crazy, Carl." Must have been because I was on Team Rai Rai. You know what I mean? I wasn't crazy and I was going after her enemy. I was just trying to get answers though. Like, I don't know if Gail knows I went through every person that Ryan said was trying to fuck him over, and I did videos and I tried figuring out where Ryan could be wrong and all this other all sorts of shit. But so yeah, Gail was cheering me on. But then something strange happened in the neighborhood. You know what I mean? Oh, Wade made up a whole bunch of stories about me and lies and shit. And really, all I wanted from Wade was to just tell the truth. Well, Gail did attack me. She's called me crazy, insane, called me a piece of shit when all I ever asked her, vintage, was, "Hey, Gail, why don't you really take the time and ask Wade if he's lying? Because that makes you the idiot if you continue to back him up." Because previously I wasn't crazy, but now I am because, well, I don't like it when Wade spreads lies about me. Do you know what I mean? That Creek Squad, I love them. I want to thank them for bringing me to the power that I have. Because if I didn't see their stupidity and work it out in my head that there's really no way that I'm wrong, like, unless somebody can tell me, hey, if you think something's coming for the children, should you stop it? Like, whether it's next door, you know what I mean? Or it's outside infesting all over. But the best answer I could get from anybody was, we'll deal with it inside of our homes. It's not our business outside of the house. We gave the rule to Satan. He tells us what we do with our children, Carl. But when they're inside of our homes, we'll protect them like super parents. But anyways, so yeah, there's been a lot of dirt thrown at me, and then I've never talked shit about Gail's family. I've only said what I thought was the truth. You know what I mean? Her son's a stone cold killer. Like, that's the truth. He would kill somebody. Like, I don't know the whole story, but the story that I got because, well, you can't get their side of the story because that's the truthful one, and you'll have to wait to hear that in court. You know what I mean? And I don't hate Billy. I feel sorry for him because to me, he looks like a quiet guy who just doesn't want to face his problems, so he likes to work, and he probably wouldn't hurt anybody. And if you're his friend, he'd probably protect you and all that sort of good stuff. But because when Billy doesn't want to face himself when he's sober, I have a feeling that he might turn into a different person when he's been drinking. You know what I mean? He doesn't like to be told, "Get off my property." Hey, there's repercussions for your bad behavior. You know what I mean? But then again, was it really Billy? Or was it the spirits that he put inside of him? Started operating his fucking avatar on him, and well, he lost control over it. But then again, I've always been honest about Skylar too. Like when she went off and said she was gonna beat Patty up if she ever seen her, I just thought, well, Patty's just winning, 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 winning. Look at you. Your daughter might not have a father, and then now you're willing to risk it all for Patty Lynn because she said you bumped your baby's head. Like, to be honest, if you've ever watched the Skylar videos with her daughter and stuff like that, it's not hard to pick up on the fact that she loves her child. You'd have to be a moron not to think that. You know what I mean? But maybe she did feel bad because she bumped her head. Maybe she was a human being and, well, an accident happened and nothing really happened, but somebody made more out of it than it was. But Skylar got her feelings hurt over it. I don't know. I didn't see the bump or whatever that was accused. But yeah, I offered to talk to Gail so many times, like, hey Gail, like you're playing on Team Satan. I know they call themselves Creek Squad, but it ain't good over there, Gail. Now, trust me, this is the thing, Vintage. Oh, Wade would have done anything for her. Totally did love her, you know what I mean? But who would she have been to him if she wasn't Ryan Upchurch's aunt? Could she have been me? Where he was making up lies and threatening to have me thrown into a mental institution and they were gonna end me and made fun of my family. Not about the shit that I said, but they thought they would use trigger points, like my son being gay against me. Can you believe that? That's just a vintage. I watched this video and what did it say? Something about the awakening and it's something about the light, fighting the darkness. It's about the light, trying to show the darkness the way. But what happens if the darkness doesn't want to face itself? So it can find its little light inside, its own little Christ, its own little, you find that Christ. It's not a connection, you know what I mean? Uh, uh, I honestly wish God talked to me the way he does other people, you know what I mean? And this is the thing, I would never lie, Vintage. That's not good, especially about God. But he doesn't talk nice to me. He's like, "Come on, you little pussy. You got this. Don't let that little Satan in your head tell you you're powerless. Don't let him make you think you're not a son of God, because you fucking well are. And you're going to prove it to the world, regardless of your fears." See, Vintage, my fear is that all these people spin my face, try to drag me down, tried to make me feel like I was going crazy, are gonna be fucking begging for my attention. That makes me sick to my fucking stomach. That's what it does. You know what I mean? But then again, about fair play, right? I warned him the whole time. Don't. Please don't. Just in case. You should listen to me. You should hear my story before you. They don't get it. It's the life of little me. All these people want to be famous, and they don't even know what they want to be famous for. It's good to have a dream and want to accomplish something, but wanting attention for any way you can get it, that's a mental illness. It's called Satan. You know what I mean? You want to be famous, go find your purpose, live your dreams. You know what I mean? Accomplish something. But then again, is the industry stacked against good people? You know what I mean, Vintage? Is there dreams out there to accomplish? Or do you have to bend the knee to Klaus Schwab and say, "Massa, massa, what I have to do for Satan? Make me famous, even though I got the talent to do it. I'll still serve you." Seems stupid, eh? Like Dave Grohl. That really bothers me. Nicest guy in rock and roll. A Satanist. It's weird. Weird as fuck. I don't know. Here's the thing. I don't think Gail's like a horrible, horrible person. I just think she's ignorant and stupid. But that's like most of the world. See, because like here's the thing. That Johnny Dagburn, he is a slime bag. But Gail likes to encourage the bad behavior, the calling and doing shit outside. Meanwhile, they could rip this guy apart with just the truth. You know what I mean? Here's the deal. In order to be a foster parent, you gotta have some sort, like, she seems like a decent person to wanna take care of children that well. Quite frankly, the parents didn't want anything to do with, you know what I mean? And how do you think God is looking down on Johnny Dagburn when he brings those children's father into the mix? And Johnny has no idea. All he's got is hatred in his heart. He don't give a fuck about those kids. What happens if he caused something What an idiot. You know what I mean? No respect. Like, I know what it's like to sit in a position like Gail. These people are fucking morons. But then I try and tell my stories, and little me will rip it all apart. Can you imagine taking care of someone else's child and giving them the best life you possibly can on your dime? You bend over backwards for the mother to even allow her to be in your house, spend the night, the weekend she wants to, just so she can fucking be around her kid. Can you imagine this? And because she felt like she wasn't going to win the court case and he was still going to get with us. I don't know what went through her head because, well, she spent the night at our house that weekend. And then she went and told CAS a bunch of lies so that she thought that if she spoke poorly about us, her chances of getting her child back were better. But she doesn't realize that it's only her own actions and her own behaviors that can keep her away from her child. She's not smart enough to figure this out. So anyways, vintage. That weekend she spent the night, like the weekend. I'm even talking to her. I'm like, I don't agree with what CAS is doing here. I'll talk to them. I'll try and see if they'll lift this, try and help you out. Like, let you know that that person left your house and viciously and maliciously went and said lies about you. Same thing as little me. See, here's the thing, vintage. This is what I'm thinking because I never said this around her kid. I'm thinking she went on my TikTok. You know what I mean? She saw me talking about wanting to talk to Justin Trudeau about the MAID program and how I could be his spokesmodel or something. You know what I mean? Just so I could get his attention and say, hey, maybe we can have a conversation and you can show me where I'm crazy because I don't want to keep thinking this way. Because if I have to keep thinking my whole country's a bunch of pussies and they're going to let a fucking loser like you fucking, like, I think I got the good saying your system's all fucked up. The policing, well, we're going to talk about the CAS, you know what I mean? But, anyways, vintage, she took that video. And what she did is she went to CAS and said, I was saying around her son, I wanted to kill myself. Couldn't her fucking do that. And it wouldn't lie, especially in front of God. You know what I mean? So that kind of stings a bit. Plus, this is what else she did. While she was over for the weekend, me and my wife got in an argument, you know, like people do. Not a yelling, not a fight, a disagreement, I would say. Didn't last very long, and there was no yelling. So apparently, that was a big fight. So she had to tell them about that. But the thing is, I don't think she knows what a fight is. See, one of the reasons she doesn't, she likes to put herself in bad situations where she can get a fight. You know what I mean? Take a few shots here and there. And, well, that puts people in bad situations that are part of your family. You know what I mean? So that was kind of hard to swallow as well. So the other complaint she made was Wow. There's a room in this house that nobody goes into because it belongs to my son. And well, her son is not allowed in there. And she took a picture of it. Now, it's because my son's a fucking pig. Like I've tried to tell everybody, you know what I mean? He gets enabled, he won't do nothing. So yeah, there's a dirty bathroom. And not even as bad as I've ever fucking seen. Like, anyways, it's not like what you thinking. There was stuff all over the cat. Like, anyways, so I'm glad that happened because now my son has to make sure it's clean. Yeah, you know what I mean. But never should have been able to get that far. You know what I mean. We should never have enabled him. I should have been able to say to him, "Hey, Buckaroo, uh, this is not necessary. So clean it the fuck up." But that's fine. Anyways, you know what else she did when she was here on the weekend? The day she was leaving, she proceeded to tell me, "Yeah, every time your wife's not around you, she shit talks you fucking horribly." You know what I mean? And then on the other side of the coin, she went to my wife and said, "Carl told me he's going to get a divorce from you. He's sick of you and all this other stuff." That was never said. I said, she took part of a conversation and she twisted the truth, Joanna, because I told my wife, "Hey, if I'm chosen, that makes you really fucking stupid and ignorant, and I shouldn't be with you, right?" So we're gonna follow this to the end and see who looks stupid. And there's a price to pay for your stupidity. I can't stick around. That's the great thing. Is that nobody wanted to listen to me before. So anyways, so that got all twisted around. You know what I mean? As soon as you tried working both sides, this turned out conflict and a fight between me. And then she lies to CAS. Well, lo and behold, they came here, did an investigation, and well, they talked to the young lad himself. You know what I mean? And well, turns out he didn't know what anybody was talking about. And I wasn't there. She went by himself, not influenced, nothing like that. You know what I mean? And well, because that report was put in, and the other CAS with my son's daughter that they stole out of her house because they couldn't even come to the house. They tricked my son still. That way they didn't have to justify it. Oh, that's all dirty, 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 dirty. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's the kind of you know what I mean? And I'm quite sure Gail's got it even worse because there's like meth and shit involved in their situation and shit, you know what I mean? But Johnny Tagburn wanted to bring that round, you know what I mean? Like if that guy wants his kids, there's a system for him to at least go and show that he wants them, you know what I mean? But instead, Johnny Dagburn will give someone like that a platform to buy. Here's the great part. Melinda's on that side of the coin too, you know what I mean? She don't have nothing to do with children she bared, just blames it on others. You'll never know if you can get your kids back unless you start fighting for them, you know what I mean? I ain't ever seen her fighting for any of them, other than the one that she has, but they'll claim to be victims on here. Sad. It's fucking sad. The world is sick because we enable fucking the sickness. Like, here's the deal. This girl, I've tried to fucking help a million times. Like, we even offered at one point in time, we were thinking about moving to like Vancouver Island, and we offered to let her come with us so she could change her life and stop fucking around with idiots. And well, she didn't want to do it because, well, for some reason, if she wanted to better herself, the family that fucking ignores her and kicks her down and treats her like shit weren't gonna have anything to do with her no more. Can you imagine that? And like the thing is, like I try and be honest with her. I'm like you know you're stupid, right? Like human beings shouldn't be being beaten by the ones that say they love them. You know that's wrong, right? Like you do know that like when you put yourself in those situations, that makes you stupid if you get out and you keep going back, you know what I mean? But sometimes being stupid is more important than your children, I guess. But then again, to try and help those people, they'll just shit all over you anyways. You know what I mean, Vintage? Anyways. No, I just thought that was funny that Gail's like, don't shit talk my family. Fuck you. Fuck you. I'll shit talk you. Because you fucking work for Satan, sweetheart. You don't fucking listen. You're all full of ignorance and stupidity. You fucking never tried to hurt anybody. Like, you could have talked to me at any time. I think I asked even, hey, Gail, if you want to talk, let me know. That was when we were rolling good, but you didn't want to take the time. Then again, maybe you thought I was just clout chasing for Ryan. I don't know. You know what I mean? Maybe you could have talked to me and said, hey, why exactly do you think Ryan's chosen? And what is it you want to accomplish? I would have been more than happy to say, hey, I think I've been sent here from God to try and change the world. Like, I just want to know what Ryan's interpretation of chosen is. That's what it is to me. Like, he says he's chosen. I got proof of it. He says he works for Jesus. So I would say that that would be his interpretation of Jesus, too. You know what I mean? Oh, no, no, I don't think so. I don't know who all Rai thinks Jason, Jason, Jesus is, but Jesus is the truth to me, Vintage. It's all about the truth. And in order to know the truth, you got to know thyself. And well, Gail is crazy and just wants everyone to stay away from Rai so she gets to be relevant. No, listen, she's got a little Johnny Dagburn in her. You know what I mean? She's a little starstruck. Got all those likey likes, and people love her. People love to be loved. You know what I mean? Like, do you think if she wasn't Ryan's aunt and she was living the way she was before, do you think she would have started a YouTube channel? Hey, it just feels good to be part of a fan group. That's the thing. Like, can you imagine if these artists like Shania Twain and like these legends, even like Tay Swift. Can you imagine T Swift, part of the devil crew? What do you think people are gonna pick? God or T Swift? Because I'm telling you right now, I'm scared for my wife because I think she's Team Swifty. You know what I mean? I don't know if she'd be willing to accept the truth if it slapped her right in the face. She just, I don't know. Diddy is the devil. No, the people who are protecting Diddy are the devil. And that's your FBI and CIA, my friend. They are the devil. Not all of them, I don't think, but Christopher is leading the way for the devil to get caught. Can you imagine being a moron, getting caught trying to fuck the world? What you gotta, you gotta be a really hurt person. Christopher Ray has got to be fucking hurting inside. To think that you should fucking control what happens to the world. Mm-mm-mm. God comes to town. Christopher Ray. Hey, can you imagine finding out there's a God in your Christopher Ray? Not a good time. Mike Pompeo. And Nancy Pelosi exposing everybody who's ever been at her sex parties. Hey, AOC. We'll see if she's still spicy after she meets God. Uh, like, I wouldn't say this. I'm not judging. Like, if I'm wrong, like, if I'm wrong about AOC or Kamala Harris, I just think that people that try to hide their, and like, like when they try and convince people that they're black and they're not, that's deceitful. And deceitful people should be exposed. But for some reason in this world, our fucking fear and stupidity, we've come to accept that, well, our politicians can just be big fat liars. Well, if you want poison the world, Gucci will get Biden to give you a pardon. Don't worry about it. This is the thing. Do you think they're getting away with it when they find out that they're playing for Team Stupid? Hey, like Fauci and Tam Tam. Did you know? Like, I would not want to be Fauci if karma comes to town and you have to eat her. You have to eat her to level up. Ouchie bouchie. Back in the day, I watched this old video. It was like a press conference. I don't think the big media was there, but I can't. I'd have to find it. But it's out there. And it's this dude, and he's just rashing Fauci about AIDS and saying kind of like incriminating things about Fauci, like really bad things. And he actually said at the presser, he says, I'll just be silenced. No major news is going to pick up on this because Fauci knows I'm going to talk all the fucking shit I want, but he knows he ain't going to sue me because he knows if he sues me, then the evidence gets to come out. And it wasn't even enough for that man to say that. Nobody caught on and went, whoa, like this man wants a fucking lawsuit brought on upon him from Fauci. Mm, it's weird, 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 weird. And we don't think about this shit, but I would not want to be the Fauci. No, 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 no. That's the thing. He loves himself, the Fauci. Like I seen him take a tour through his house, pictures of him all over the place, little reminders of how great he is everywhere. What a dork. You fucking pick Team Stupid, you get stupid back in return. You know what I mean? But then again, is there a way to get yourself off of Team Stupid? No. Fauci would be a pure miracle, just like fucking Bill Gates, eh? Just miracles if you could get them to come to Jesus. Because they have to be reborn and be reborn, and they might have to go through and figure out why the fuck they did what they did, why they did. They have to figure out themselves and all. Welcome to the Twilight Zone, motherfuckers. Hey, vintage. These people are gonna go mental, mental, mental. Like, here's the thing. I seen a thing where in Congress they're still talking about getting rid of TikTok. Hey, that's the thing. I better put up boot scooty on this because, well, anyways, I guess I was in Congress again. You know what I mean? So that's one of the devil's tools that God's going to use against them. You know what I mean? That's what I think. I think that's what this YouTube channel's. But who knows? Who knows? I wonder if Elon bought TikTok. Forgot to look that. No, Elon hasn't bought up TikTok. Not that I'm aware of. But here's the thing. I have questions about Elon, and people should do. You know what I mean? Like, and if he's got nothing to hide, he should just answer the stupid questions. You know what I mean? Shouldn't be afraid of anything. Like, I don't understand what he's doing. Like little things. Like, what's this thing? Skylink up there, or whatever it is. Like I saw an image. I don't know, maybe it's fake, but it's Mr. MRB 333. He likes to do his homework and he shows stuff and where he gets it from and all that sort of stuff. I think that's where it came from. It was either him or I could figure it out. But it looks like he's creating a Dyson sphere around here. I don't know. Doesn't that seem weird? But who knows? Maybe you could explain that because I thought it was like internet. You know what I mean? Like, it's not one satellite. You can like, but I'm not a scientist, but I'm scared of science though. You know how we were talking about Fauci? His little replacement, Peter Hotez, that's when I really started worrying about all sorts of stuff like that was when RFK and him were going to debate and they offered money. Science ran away from a debate. That right there told me we're not living in good times. But anyways, I'm going to go because I got a lot of people up here right now, and I'm gonna make some lunch or something. Have a good day, Vintage. Anybody else who's watching, come back later. We'll do another thing or whatever. I'll go on about whatever you guys want to talk about.